And so it ends, Oxford United fans, and so it ends. The playoff dream is over for another year. There will be no Championship football. It will be League One again for Oxford United. We had to win against Rotherham. It was a tall order that we left ourselves, having to beat the side that's second in the league, regardless of the poor form they've been on away from home, to even give ourselves a hope of it. And we didn't get the job done. And a familiar story of games we've seen in the season. But we'll get into all of that. First of all, I'm just going to say congratulations to Rotherham on the victory. Well done to them. Well done to their fans. I think their fans played a big part in helping roaring on their team today in a packed New York stadium. And boy, is that a sort of stadium I'd like for Oxford United. But again, that's all stuff for another time. Because this game ended Rotherham United 2, Oxford United 1. For me, this had the atmosphere of a cup game before the start of it. It really did feel like a cup game from an Oxford United point of view anyway. It felt like it was a real game. We had nothing to lose. We've got a big backing. Let's go there and give it a go. Oxford were in very good voice. And the crowd were great today, I thought. Oxford made some changes. Ryan Williams came in and started, and Billy Bowden started. Obviously, he got the winner against MK Dons. Gavin White, Nathan Holland out of the side. And I was happy to see Williams starting in there. I think he makes a big difference. I'm surprised he hasn't played more. I think he's a very experienced player. I think at times been underused this season, so I was glad to see him here today. And I was just hoping before the game. I thought, I knew Rotherham were in bad form, and I knew Oxford was just coming off a good win that we had against MK Dons. I was hoping that dynamic of the pressure being more on Rotherham than Oxford might have hopefully played a big factor. And I thought that if the game, Rotherham would have got more nervous as the game went on. I was hoping for that anyway. And there were signs of that in the first half, but not really so much in the second half. But it was a familiar tale, wasn't it? Oxford got off to a dream start. And I think that's the first own goal we've had of the season. I can't think of another one. If there was another one, let me know down in the comments. Oxford did start quite brightly, and we were having a lot of joy getting the balls down wide. Sykes had a couple of runs, but it was Sam Long who got down on Oxford United's right, Rotherham's left, produced a really good cross into the box. One which was hit with a lot of pace, and the defender had to defend it. Barlaser. Just looking at the name there, that's the first time I've seen who the goal scorers were, actually. Who got across, he had to stop it because it looked like it was going to Taylor or it was Bowden behind him. And he diverted it into his own net. So we were going crazy, we were going nuts, Oxford ahead after 10 minutes. But we've seen that story before. And one of the biggest Achilles heel we've had this season is the fact that we haven't kicked on after taking the lead in many, many, many games. And we've dropped so many points from winning positions. And this is another example of that today. But after 10 minutes, it was happy days. Look, and the first half wasn't great. It wasn't a great game of football all the way through, really. But the first half really wasn't great. Rotherham, I don't think, played very well at all. And Oxford were handling them quite well. And you did sense the crowd were getting a bit frustrated. They were getting a bit frustrated with Oxford's tactics because obviously we just went into time-wasting mode straight away. Herbie came rolling around, boy who cries wolf. But he did actually eventually get injured because we didn't see him again for the second half. But Oxford were having joy when they were trying to play balls down the sides in behind Rotherham. But we were far too direct, really. For my own liking. There was a Williams cross which just went over the head of Taylor at the back post. But other than that, it was really reduced to corners and set pieces. But more importantly, it did feel like we were keeping Rotherham at quite an easy arm's length. There weren't really too many chances that they had. Very much a direct side, and again themselves looking to create problems from their own set pieces. But from their own play, it's very much get the ball forward quickly. And let Smith do a bit of hold-up work and the wingers running down the side. But Oxford did a good job, I thought. But then, 3 minutes of injury time, the pressure just told. Oxford had ample chances to clear the ball, namely with Herbie Kane, who again turned back into trouble. He could have just laced it into the stands. It created trouble. It created, I think, a corner. From that corner, Oxford didn't clear it. Second phase, ball comes back in. Again, Oxford did have chances to clear it. Ball come back in. It was a really good ball. And there was Edmonds-Green, who was given man of the match by the Rotherham fans in this one. He got the equaliser. It was a good cross and a good header. Not really much Oxford could do about it, but a bit of a sickener. Oh, not much we could do about it in terms of the actual cross, but let's say we could have avoided the cross coming in. But bit of a sickener because it was literally the last kick, or one of the last kicks of the half. As soon as the game kicked off, referee blew for half time, and that felt a kick in the teeth. But I was hopeful that Oxford would then come out and be a bit more purposeful in the second half. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and Rotherham were much the stronger side in the second half. Oxford really struggled. We've seen this happen a lot of times in games where Oxford lose their composure, and when they lose their composure, they lose their passing rhythm. People just don't seem to want to get a foot on the ball, and it's very rushed, and we just seem to be able to just give the ball back to the opposition, barely clear our lines, barely create a chance. And it felt like the second goal was only a matter of time before it came. There was a lot of pressure from Rotherham, a lot of chances. Eventually, it came from the penalty spot. Luke McNally, been brilliant this season, but made a mistake and got caught in possession. The striker or winger got beyond him. McNally tries to recover, fouls him, brings him down. Clear penalty all day long. The man who gave away the OG, just realised this, stepped up and scored the penalty. So redemption for him. New York Stadium going absolutely crazy, goading the Oxford fans, as you can imagine. And from then on in, they really did pile on the pressure. They could have got a third goal. There was not so many struggles and scraps in the penalty area, so many loose balls. And Oxford did a good job defensively. And again, our own Achilles heel. It seemed like every time we had an attack, we were so susceptible to the break. There was one move that went clean through, and Stevens had to produce a really good save to stop it. There were a couple of chances. There was one that fell. When Oxford actually did play a bit of football, we actually did create chances, and that's one of the big frustrations, that we didn't do that more. There was a good ball in by Long, which eventually came through to Williams, I think, but his shot was straight at the keeper and we couldn't get the rebound in. And then when Marcus Brown came on, he showed a couple of really good touches, really a couple of nice composed moves. And there was one which ended up with a header. I think it was either by Brown or Bowden, which was put over from close range, which is one of those ones we just needed to really just guide it into the bottom corner. But not an easy chance by any means. But they were few and far between. And if you're being completely honest and truthful, it's difficult to say Oxford deserved anything from the game, really. They weren't very good in the second half. And it puts, instead of being able to use the crowd against Rotherham, they were just in full force, in full song, and they roared their side to victory. And again, congratulations to them. They virtually got promotion. Although they buggered up the league title, they've looked like they're going to get themselves over the line in that second spot now. But yeah. So a bit annoying that it ended on a bit of a whimper. But you, again, to coin a Robinson phrase, you can't fault the effort of the players. The quality wasn't quite there today. And I think that's something that really needs to be addressed next season, is the fact that when they lose composure, the plan B isn't very good. We don't have very good hold-up players. And we don't really have, we don't really utilise the pace in the side at times. And that is something that needs to be looked at for next season. But who's going to be here next season is a video for another time. But at the moment, it was a great game to go to in terms of the atmosphere. Disappointing with the result, but still, I am proud of this Oxford United side, and I think we should be proud of them too. I mean, the league is insane. We're on 75 points, so we're already better off than we were last season. You'd think we're going to beat Doncaster on the final day to end on 78. Which is an insane amount of points to not get in the playoffs. But all those sides above us, you can't fault them. They've been magnificent. And even the likes of, Wickham, who we like to chastise, they got a great win over Sheffield Wednesday today. Plymouth got a good draw. So It's been a tough league. It's been a really hard league, and like last season, we were the side that galloped up on the rails and got the job done. This time, we left ourselves with too much to do. So disappointing, but there's still one more game to go. I will be going to the Doncaster game to round the season off. I'm still looking forward to that one, but not really too much more to say on this one. If you're a Rotherham fan, congratulations, and leave your comments down below. If you're an Oxford fan, always interested in hearing your comments as well. But that's just about it from me. The usual stuff, hit like, hit subscribe. But I'll be back to do the review of that final day of the season next Saturday. Thanks for watching. See you soon.